I'm going to do a kind of a long driving video. I'm here off Park Road 4 near Inks Lake State Park. This used to be Highland Lakes Golf Course. Right here on the left was a cart building, right here where they put all the carts and stuff. And straight ahead was the main office or whatever you want to call it. And I ran this golf course for, or yeah, I worked part time and ran it for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, and I was here 4 or 5 years total. And yeah, this was the 18th hole right out here, and the club. I mean, the clubhouse was right here, and then right beside it was a little one-bedroom house that I lived in, and then over here, this would have been hole number one, par four down the hill, and then there was a par three that paralleled that little part of Inks Lake over there, that little arm, and then there was a little driving range right over here. But yeah, you talk about about memory lane and how things can change. I wish they'd have kept this golf course going. You know, all this right now would be pretty and green, and there'd be a little activity here. People playing golf. It was only 9 holes, but it was inexpensive. It was kind of cow pasture golf, and Bubba could come out here and drink beer and play, and me too. And did I drink beer and play? Hell yeah, I did. You know, and but anyway, and then right across the road here, there was an car accident years ago. It was a girl coming back home from college, and this road right here, Park Road 4, does go to Kingsland, but it's a windy ass road. Okay, now the road, it was a foggy night. She's coming back on Highway 29, going west, I believe, and she thought she was turning on a road, what if 261, which is much straighter, that goes right into Kingsland. But it was foggy night. She picked the wrong road, and she sped up and didn't make this turn right in here. She lost control and ended up she spun out and went out here, and the car flipped over and caught on fire, and that was the end of her. But there's a plaque out there, and I've actually found it before. I'm not going to go find it now, but anyway, it just a little history here. But again, this is Park Road 4 that goes to Inks Lake State Park. I'll get it out here. But anyway, we're going to go take a little drive, and y'all just reminisce right along with me. And it'll probably be a little sunny in the bit. Who cares? Let's go. Shut up. Quit qualifying it and get going. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it is a windy road through the hill country of Texas, and we're not going to go to Inks Lake, but we are going to go see Thorny at my old home base. Is this thing fuzzed up? I hope not. If it is, I'm going to throw it in the trash. Okay, we got that done. That's off. Punch this 3 times to get everything done. Close that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay, let's go. So anyway, here we go. This is Park Road 4. Goes to Inks Lake State Park. Inks Lake is right over here to the right. You might see some of it in just a second. It's a constant level lake. They feed it from Lake Buchanan. It's on the Colorado River, and we don't want to go too fast here because this is a windy road, so we're going to slow down a little bit. That's good. But yeah, this is part of the golf course. That was hole number 9 right here. We're paralleling it. But anyway, look at that buzzard up there with his wings. See, they do that to dry their wings out in the mornings because of the dampness. Come on, guys, let's go. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Thank you, buzzard. I mean, yo. Yeah, they weren't very scared, were they? No, not really. We have buzzards up here that weigh 50 pounds, and the reason is there's a lot of roadkill. There's a lot of wildlife in here, deer and armadillo and coons and possums and stuff. And I don't know what happens at night, but they go out in the highway and get run over. But yeah, we'll hold it right in there. Let me slow down a little bit. They're right up here on the right. There used to be, may not be anymore, a scenic overlook, and what you overlooked, of course, is the Texas Hill Country and Inks Lake. And then there's a place right straight down below it you could walk down to many years ago, and it was called Devil's Hole, and it was like a little spring that flowed over some rocks into a pool, and the water was really comfortable. Yeah, it's right here. You could go down right down there. Yeah, you can't anymore. They got it all blocked off. You couldn't drive a tank down there now. But anyway, I've been there before, and yeah, it was nice. It was a cool little place to go and relax in the summers, particularly because it gets hot here. And this is the hill country of Texas. In July and August, in the hundreds. So anyway, we're Oh yeah, this is where I did the movie, or not the movie, but the video about Mars. I was driving along here on this road, but I was coming from the other direction, and I looked at the off to the side, and it was just a bunch of granite boulders. And in my mind, I said, that looks like Mars. Well, ding! Just on the spur of the moment, I did a video that I had landed on Mars, and I created these. This before I left, though, I created these NPPs, which are nano product pills, and all you had to do was add water, and you could have buildings and food and booze and all kinds of stuff. It was all just in my mind. I got a fertile mind. It's mostly full of. It's fertilized with you know what. Enough said. But yeah. This is a beautiful area of Texas. I enjoy being here, and I'm glad to be back staying in Llano at that city RV park because, yeah, it works for me. I set out this morning before I started on this drive and watched golfers, because right next to my RV, within 10 yards or 20 yards, is the tee box for number 17 on the golf course, the municipal golf course in Llano. And then to my right is the green for number 16. So yeah, I can watch them putt out, and then I can watch them tee off. And boy, there were some flat bellies there this morning that could hit a golf ball, I'm telling you. I mean, I was very impressed. So Park Road 4, does this bring back memories? My. I lived in this area for, I want to say 14 years. This is Inks Lake State Park to the right. I'm not going there. But yeah, this is it. That's the entrance. And, it's a big park, and it's very popular. And, it's got a lot of water activities. You can rent all kind of stuff and go out on the lake. And yeah, it's a good place. That's why it's busy. Because anytime there's a state park and a river or a lake, then you're going to have crowds. Yep. I think this used to be the old entrance. Yeah, this used to be the old entrance right there. They built a new entrance, and yeah, but I've come down. See, I used to live, as you know, off of this road, and that's where Thorny is. I had an RV parked under a cover on a concrete slab with a full hookup, and that's where I lived for 14 years. And so, when I stumbled into the owner of the golf course, Inks Lake Golf Course, uh, his name was Johnny, and at a little bar here called Pocahontas. Can you imagine me being in a bar? Jeez, what a rare occurrence. It only happened every night. But anyway, yeah, I met him there. We were just, talking. We got to know each other over a few meetings or talks, and one day he said something about. He said, "Well, he's going to have to fire his manager at the golf course." And I said, well, he said, "I don't know what I'm going to do." He said, I can't find anybody that, that's honest, will stay there." He said, "I go gambling, and I don't want to be there." And I wasn't doing anything. I said, "Well, hell, I'll do that." And he said, "Well, how much you need?" I told him. And he said, "Hell, we can work that out." And we did. It was all straight up. There was a little house next to the clubhouse. And, after, he showed me kind of what the ropes were, charging the golf carts and few other little things. And then there was a guy there named Darty Campos, who was the maintenance guy who worked till noon, uh, 5 days a week. And he was a great guy. I learned a lot from him about, golf course management and stuff. Of course, Johnny too. The overseeding and mowing the greens and all that crap. But it was really fun, man. It was, of course, the golf course jobs are dark to dark. The sun comes up and people are ready to play, and they play till dark. So it can be a long day. But I lived there. I mean, it was home. I mean, it didn't bother me 5 cents. And had a big couch there in the clubhouse, and of course we didn't sell beer or anything. We sold soda water, and but people could bring beer, and did, and in ice chest, which is fine with me. And But yeah, it was a big open area room there where people would come in. Players would come in and sit at this big table and have their coffee and stuff before they went out and played in the morning. We had tournaments. I played in I'd play in the tournaments myself. And it was a lot of fun. It was a great period in my life. I thoroughly enjoyed that period. And then the lease on the golf course. Well, I'm not. Let's don't get into that. But anyway, the golf course sold to a guy out of Houston, a good guy named Michael. I won't mention his last name. Michael and his wife. They moved into the little house next to the deal, and then I helped out occasionally if they needed. If they took a trip or something, he'd call me, and I'd run over from my little place here and open the golf course for a few days and close it while they were gone on trips and stuff. And that was fun. And of course we had a good group of people that came there. We had about 40 regular people, a reasonable regular basis. And every Friday we had a scramble, and we had scrambles. I don't know if it was Wednesday and Friday, but we had plenty of little golf tournaments and stuff. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. We made a lot of quarter bets. I tell you what, I don't care if you're a millionaire, people will kill you for a quarter. You know what I mean? I mean, it gets real serious. It's not the 25 cents; it's the matter of losing, or whatever. So anyway, that's just reminiscing as I'm driving to go see my old home base here. The property in this area has gone up a lot. I'm telling you. I mean, no kidding. I lived in Sherwood Shores 3 at 201 Comanche Drive, and this, I'm sure it's changed. I haven't been here in a long time, and nobody has lived here in a long time. So it's probably grown up and stuff. But yeah, there's a place here called Heart of Texas Lake Resort. Yeah, they got an RV park and cabins and stuff down on the river. Now here is not a lake. You've got the Colorado River that flows on down there by some property and stuff. We won't drive by there this morning, maybe later on, but it says burn ban in effect, and then it says severe drought. And this place here, Sherwood Shores 3, used to have its own water supply, but it doesn't now. It's owned by the city of Granite Shoals, and how they got it, I don't know. But they monitor it and maintain the water wells, and the reason they do is because the Property Owners Association here didn't have enough money to keep it up. You have to comply with state laws and all that stuff, and they were having some trouble doing that, so they let the city of Granite Shoals take it over, and apparently it's worked out all right. I know it's expensive to have water here, but apparently you don't have to haul water. You got electricity, and it's kind of it's certainly not a wealthy area. It's let's just say it's moderate income. I mean, to be generous, okay. Now on the right hand side it's a little better, but on the left hand side, as you'll see, it's okay. It's a lot of mobile homes, double wide, single wides, and then there's a few people that live in their RVs like I did. Here's one right here, a fifth wheel, guy living in that, but he keeps it neat, looks good, no problem with that. then there's a single wide mobile home right there. And, of course, there's houses all in here. And some people, it's like anywhere you've ever been in life. Some people keep their places nice and neat, and others don't. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's the way they were raised. Who knows? Yeah. This first house was here when I was here, but that house he's backing out of there, that was not, that's new. Or, well, I guess within a few hundred years. But you see, I mean, they got a dumpster right there in the front. I don't know. It's okay. It's their life. And then here's two people, living in RVs right there. That's pretty clean though. And you know, then over here, but again, we'll go on down here. This is the way I went to my house. Again, it was 201 Comanche Drive, and we'll go all the way down here, and we'll actually go up and see Thorny. Thorny is a cactus, a prickly pear cactus. It was planted by my grandson. He doesn't even know he did it. He was chopping up some cactus, prickly pear cactus, with a machete, and a piece of, you can take a piece of cactus and lay it on the ground, and it'll curl up a little bit when it dries up, and that is like a funnel, and it'll catch water, and then it'll form a root, and next thing you know, you got cactus everywhere. Okay, this is the one of the water wells. They've got two water wells here. That's one of them right there, and they were having some problems with those because those pumps are expensive as everything. And but yeah, see, nothing's changed really. Up, right in here, everything's the same as it was when I was here, and yeah, off to the right and left, about the same. There's a mailbox here that wasn't here when I was here. But yeah, it looks like they brought in a home here, a single wide mobile home there. How they got it in there, I have no clue. But and then here's a guy living in a container, I guess. And then they've cleared that and made a little pad for something, but I don't know what. And then here's my mailbox right up here on the right, 201. I put that mailbox in the ground in the concrete and put the letters on and everything. We'll pull in here a little bit just to get off the road, but I can see that it's grown up so much I don't know that if I want to go in here too much further. So I'm going to shut her down here, and we'll go see Thorny right now. Okay, let's cut her off here, Rusty. Engine off. Do the mirror so I can see when I get ready to back out of here. And let's go see. This is my place off Park Road 4. We're only about, let me think, 8 miles from Kingsland, approximately, Texas. But I do notice one thing right off. This granite gravel that I had put in on that tar, it's held up perfectly. See there's no ruts at all. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. The meter's gone, but that meter loop, I brought it, and they put it up on the pole. Central Texas Electric Co-op. Yeah, this limb here just needs to be cut off. Yeah, that camera's fake as shit. And that cable must be something to do with internet or something. But yeah, it's grown up. It's certainly grown up. But it wouldn't take, somebody a day to get it cleaned up. Get you a group of people in here with a mower and edger and stuff, and you'd have it cleaned up in a day. Yeah. Hear that rooster? Out in the county, you can do anything. This guy bought this property next to me. He's with look at the deer. They're living back over there. They didn't found him a home. Yeah. But he's with the Parks and Wildlife next door. Now, I mean, he's new. But yeah, this is yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? I think it looks good. That gravel. I mean, you may not see it as good as I do, but no, there's no ruts anywhere. That stuff works, man. It's just granite gravel. They dug it down a few inches, put in some road base, and then they put tar on top of the road base, and then they put this granite gravel on top of that hot tar, and boy, does it work. But yeah, this was my home for several years right here. I had 2 or 3 different RVs parked under there, and no, that thing is held up. I think that's a 18 by 26 from Eagle Carports. I believe that's the name of the company. But yeah, remember those old men that poured that concrete and stuff? No, it ain't got a crack in it, man. Nothing. It's perfect. No, this is a good spot. I thought maybe if the price of this property out here hadn't gone up so much, I would probably buy this back. Yeah, it's a nice spot. It really is. And then I could have somebody come in, clean all this shit up, but I can't pay what it's worth. You know, that's it. I mean, I can pay what I sold it for, but I can't pay. No, I don't have that much money. I don't have cash. See, that's a damn problem. But anyway, another thing, I hope the owner kept I hope I gave the key to the owner because that damn lock's going to be hard to do. Still got that wood that I chopped up. There's that old pot. I've had that old pot there for, I bet that pot has followed me for 50 years. Damn thing. Yeah. But no, this is my old home base here, and it's a nice spot, and it's still a nice spot, and I would enjoy using it again. But again, I'm tapped out. Here's Thorny. That's what we came for. How about that? Hello, Thorny. Is that a cactus, prickly pear cactus, or not? Huh? And that's a rock I got when I was in Taos, New Mexico. I still remember where I picked it up. Yep. And as far as this over here, that wouldn't bother me. I mean, if somebody put something there, that's fine. And then either I'd split the cost of a wooden fence, or if they weren't noisy or whatever, it'd work out. So I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you. But yeah, it would this would still be a home. It'd still work out for me. But you know, it no, I don't see how I could pay for that. Mm-mm. No, and it's a good location. I don't know what the water situation is, and I don't know how active the POA is because, see, there is no septic system on this property, and to get one would be 10,000 or more, and but I don't want to get a septic. See, I don't need one. I just poop in a bag and throw it in the trash and pee on the ground or whatever. You know what I mean? But as far as cleaning this up, I wouldn't get rid of Thorny. Thorny'd stay. Why? Shit, I don't know. We put a name on it, and now it's got a personality. And if you might be able to see in that brush right there, there's some cinder blocks kind of stacked around in a circle. That was my fire pit. Yo. But you can see the property line right there where those people have cleared it a little bit. That's the property line right there, right where that little mesquite tree is. And yeah, it's a good spot. And the donkeys used to come up right here. I don't know if they still do or not. I don't know who if they. I'm sure the same people still live there. But yeah, I may have to contact the owner and see what I can work out. If I can sell my place in uh, Fort Clark Springs or Carrizozo, I might do something. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd have to check on it. Here comes a cat. I already got me a cat. Well, hello there, Gato. Huh? You welcome me home? Huh? Meow. I ain't got nothing to eat. Just, it's a little tomcat. God, you're just rubbing all over me here. What are you swapping fleas or what? That's a pretty cat. There was a cat that used to come up here years ago, and I got to be familiar with it, and I'd give it a. I even got some cat food. Okay. Well, familiarity breeds contempt because the next thing you know, if I didn't have that damn cat food out, he'd hiss at me. And then and then one day, the damn thing, I was sitting out here in a pair of shorts and drinking a beer, come up and there wasn't any food in the damn bowl. He just walked and he just scratched my leg, and that was the end of Gato. Gato went to Gato land. But enough said about that, guys. We're here, and que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Now, what is this? This is feces, and it looks like that is, I'm going to say that is coon feces. I don't think deer do that, but the deer ran out of here. Now you see these little pebbles here, that's deer poop. Maybe that is deer. They may just have made them a little home here, and that's their restroom. Bless their hearts. Yeah. So anyway, guys, from my old home place here near Kingsland, Texas, on October the 26th, 2025, at about, I don't know, 10:30 a.m., nice and cool. Of course, this is a nice, cool day. It gets hotter than crap here in the summer. And yeah, but the good thing about the summers here, I mean, at least I planned ahead, the west is that way, and that's why that's there. Yeah, it helps tremendously, keeps this cool in here. Yeah, we'll just have to see which way the wind blows here. But see, here's the catch 22. Nah, I won't get into it. The water situation here. Well, it wouldn't bother me too much, but it would bother a buyer for this place because and you got to get a septic in here. See, that's something else. See, my plan was, since you got to have a pretty good area for a septic system, uh, I was going to put it over here, but now they've come out with some new guidelines, and I'm not even sure you can get a septic on this property now. But saying that, having said that, we'll see which way the wind blows here. Crazy, isn't it? Goodbye, Thorny. Enjoy your life. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye bye. Enjoy your life the best way you can. And if you want to come clean this place up for the owner, go ahead. Anyway, yeah, it would take, yeah, I could get some people out here. I mean, I'm just talking to myself now. If I bought it back, which I wouldn't until I sell one of my places. I couldn't. I couldn't. No. Anyway, guys, enjoy your life best way you can. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Adios. Bye bye.